This episode is brought to you by ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil is working to develop lower emission fuels, renewable diesel made from plants, biofuels made from wood waste, and e-fuel made with hydrogen and captured CO2. Fuels like these could one day lower emissions from trucks, cars, even airplanes by up to 85%. It's just one of the ways ExxonMobil is advancing climate solutions. Learn more at exxonmobil.com/fuels.
Welcome to the first episode of Two Dudes on a Giraffe. In today's episode, we're going to cover the escape of Alcatraz.
Welcome, Harrison.
Thank you, Josh.
So my name is Josh Kingsmore, and my co-host today is
Harrison Kingsmore.
And we are going to bring in two experts who have done extensive studying into Alcatraz, and we'll find out what Alcatraz is, along with what happened there on that fateful day back in the 60s. So I want to introduce our experts today, and our first expert is Aiden Kingsmore.
Hello.
Hey, Aiden. So our second expert is Will Richardson.
Hello.
Thank you guys for both joining us today. So I first want to start off with the name that you guys came up with for this podcast, Two Dudes on a Giraffe. So my producer's telling me in my ear here that came from you, Will. So, Will, what's up with the name?
Well, Josh, when Aiden first came to the school, Highbone Academy, that's where we both took the mystery of Alcatraz from. We were piano partners, and we always played as a duet, so I came up with the name Two Dudes on a Giraffe.
Very interesting. All right, so I guess we just break right off into the content here, and we want to know from you guys, first of all, what is Alcatraz? What was Alcatraz?
Alcatraz was a prison built in August 11th of 1934. This prison was built to contain the most dangerous and lethal criminals all across the globe, and it was just built to house and maintain these criminals, the most dangerous ones.
Gotcha. So I heard you say the most dangerous. Will, can you tell us what was unique about this maximum security high level prison? What was unique versus any other prison that had been built in America at this time?
Well, Alcatraz was the main thing that made it so different was that it was literally on an island a mile away from the coast of San Francisco.
Oh, okay. So I see. So being surrounded by water was the kind of the X factor for that prison.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So Alcatraz, you said, was built in what year, Aiden?
1934.
1934. So that's kind of the right before we got involved in World War II. So that was a big initiative, big project. How many years did it take to construct?
I don't believe it took very long. It might have been
Well, they obviously didn't have to construct the island, right? They didn't put the island there.
Definitely.
There. So they put the prison together. They start introducing inmates. I guess they ship them out from San Francisco. Is that how they did? They rode a boat out?
Probably, yeah.
So they get out to the island. How about the guards? Do the guards live out there, or did they come in every day by ferry?
The guards had this living space that they would live in on the prison. Each night when they, I guess, tucked in the prisoners, which it wasn't very your mom putting you to bed. It was more of this man coming into your room and telling you, this is it, I'm taking everything you've got, I'm giving you the least amount, least comfort, I'm going to put you here in this cold cell for the next 7-8 hours. And they would sleep on, much better than what the prisoner would sleep on, this cold steel with this thin mattress. You could snap it with your hands. It was awful. But they would live in the prison. They wouldn't go back home and do any of this. And nights would take shift surveying the prison.
Okay, so they actually stayed there on the campus with them. That's interesting.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, guys, who are some of the more infamous inmates held here?
Well, two of the most popular and infamous prisoners that was held there was Machine Gun Kelly and Al Capone. And Al Capone was one of the biggest mob bosses ever known.
Yeah, so I guess that's the harkening back to the infamous 20s and 30s when we had more of a gangster and mob mentality that was kind of in the country at the time.
Yes, sir.
With all these infamous prisoners, how many of them tried to escape?
There was 36 total counted escape attempts throughout the years of operation of the prison.
Interesting.
36, wow. So, we're gathered here today to talk about the most infamous escape attempt, or I guess maybe the most famous as well. So tell us about those two folks who tried to escape. Was it only two, or how many people tried to escape? Just fill us in on that.
Well, 4 was actually, they actually tried to escape, but the 4th one, Alan West, actually wasn't able to get out of his cell, so the 3 other men had to leave him behind. And the 3 men's name were Frank Morris and Clarence and John Anglin.
Awesome. So we're thinking 2 possibly made it out then? Is that what we are?
I think that none of them, ever since they got out of the prison, when they're crawling across the tin roof, trying to not make too much noise, that I think all of them were able to make it out and, all in one piece.
Okay. So we think they all got out.
And now, those handful of men, was that the most famous escape attempt?
I think it could definitely be tossed around the idea of the most infamous escape from this legendary prison. But I definitely, in my thought, I think it was the escape in 1962.
Okay, great. So, there's lots of rumors going around. Did they make it out? Did they die at sea? What actually happened with them? We're going to find out as soon as we get right back from our commercial break.
At T-Mobile, we think about coverage differently, so we built a network powerful enough to bring high-speed 5G home internet to millions of homes across America. Get fast, reliable, affordable T-Mobile 5G home internet on the network that goes beyond the expected. Just $50 a month with autopay. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/5G internet.
Availability limited. Qualifying credit required. Regulatory fees included in price for qualified accounts, plus $5 per month without autopay. $35 assisted support or device connection charge due at sale. See T-Mobile.com/5G internet for details.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Love Target? Well, you're about to love it even more. With the Red Card Reloadable, you'll save 5% every Target trip on top of everyday low prices, in-store and online. And the all-new Red Card Reloadable doesn't require a bank account or credit check. Restrictions apply. Learn more at target.com/redcard.
And we're back. So I'm just curious, Aiden, Will, with all of these dangers in the island, do you guys think all the escapees survived? Do you think there's a possibility they were killed, possibly even murdered? But I don't know. I don't think I do a very good job swimming to shore.
Now with land being more than a mile away, I think that they could have possibly made it. They gathered many resources from all across the prison, such as raincoats, and they tied these raincoats together. Once they were outside, they had to climb a 12-foot fence. And past that was just the land, and then obviously in between the land and the land of actually San Francisco, there's a mile of frigid waters, and not to mention they're also shark infested. So to get across these waters, they would take these raincoats that they put together and they make it into a raft, and then they just kind of have to take their handmade paddles, and the handmade would just be their hands. And they would try to paddle across these waters. Now there's lots of evidence, and there's also and not a lot of evidence that they died because there's no raincoats behind, there's no clothes behind. If they would have died, their bodies would have floated up to the surface. And so I think that they made it across.
So, Will, just to get your opinion, do you think they died? Do you think they made it to some folks say South America, Mexico? What say you?
I agree with Aiden. I do think they also made it because he didn't clarify, but the raft was also actually found at the bay of San Francisco, indicating that they, in fact, did make it and just left it behind.
Yeah, the chances of that raft actually making it and washing up to the bay and not being washed out probably are lower. So that is a good kind of sign that that's the direction that they went. So this prison now is closed, right? They don't use it anymore?
Yes, sir.
So what's going on with this location now? Can you still go to Alcatraz?
Yes, actually, it's a tourist attraction. It's still in the same spot, but just it's there as a museum for tourists to just go see and read about the history behind it.
Do we know why they closed it? Because it sounds like an excellent concept, surrounded by cold, shark-infested waters, and you have to take a ferry to go out and get to it. Why did they close it?
No, I do agree that this is something that they should have kept open, something that they should have focused a lot of attention and effort towards, but they unfortunately had to close it down due to insufficient funds.
Money. It all comes back to the money, doesn't it, at the end of the day? So, Harrison, I think we can slam the door on this particular aspect of Alcatraz, right?
I believe so, Josh.
Well, I appreciate you, Harrison, for being my co-host. Aiden, Will, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
And we will see you next time on Two Dudes on a Giraffe.
That's all, folks.